Sorry, I'm trying to read, and it's bad over the game interface because I'm not using my computer this morning. Good morning. I'm just starting up a new file because my normal file is like way overpowered. So the first thing I would suggest if anybody was to play this was to equip one of the Zodiac hats, because the Zodiac hats actually give, besides the tutorial of course, they give these two. And the hardest thing I found at first was actually the bosses took longer to kill than you were given time. So this is your level select. And then, so your first level. And all you do is you hit make a boss, and it puts together a few parts, makes a boss. And they're random. Seeing if maybe I can get them. So like, if you look at the left, the body tells you weapon weaknesses and strengths. I was kind of hoping to get my machine gun as the strength, but that's unlikely, so let's just make sure it's not a weakness. So there's a story. I'm just going to skip the story. And then you just fight the boss. And then you go pew pew pew. Pew pew pew! Now I'm a lot weaker in this file, so I have to be a little bit more careful. Each boss fights differently just based on the parts that they give it. And as you can see, like right now, my character is really weak, so this is going to take a bit. And this is why I turned on a Zodiac head, because as you can see, my time is infinite now. And honestly, I found that without infinite time, especially at the beginning, the boss fights were like really too slow. So you get two guns though, basic machine gun. You can upgrade this in the shop. money. You actually get given money for doing the tutorial, so it lets you at least get like an upgrade or two. And then you can have any of, like, there's dozens of alternative guns. And if you kill the minions, you get stuff, and if you do other things. Every level has like a few medals to go after for doing different things. And I'll show you, like, with my better file, kind of what that means. Maybe I'll win this fight, but at first it can be really tough, like, until you kind of start building up an arsenal and start getting your upgrades there, this can be difficult. But after a while, you just steamroll everything. Well, mostly. I mean, bosses can still take a while, but not this long. So like right now, there's specials, special attacks. I don't have those. And even the bosses themselves, like, as you get further, some of these attacks that this one's doing actually start to have sub-effects on you, mess you up. But right now, not much. And you get to have a pet, and all this other cool stuff. And there's a lot of pets, like, I forget how many pets there are that you can have. Yeah, just boss fights. Nowhere near as difficult as Cuphead, I'll say. Like, Cuphead was a challenge. This one, even the hardest medals aren't that difficult. I would recommend doing the tutorial because the tutorial does give you that extra little bit of cash, and that cash to start is so beneficial just for like an upgrade or two. Like, I think I spent my first bit of cash on weapon damage upgrades to make these fights go quicker. As you can see, like, I've been in this fight for what, 3 minutes already, it feels like? And the timer itself was only like 2 or 3, so I would just time out every fight at the beginning, and then I looked over the costumes and found these. So I chose to wear a Zodiac hat, and the Zodiac abilities that prevent burrowing and infinite time made all these fights possible. And like, each part will have a different attack strategy. Like, so this one, that the launcher on the side for the missiles or the guns, the head itself has its own attack, so you'll find like certain parts are more or less annoying. Like, some of those top parts will fling enemies at you, and those really hurt. Oh yeah, and if you get too close to the face, it does that shockwave attack. I'll show all the pets. I have all of them on the other file. Like I said, I completed the whole game once, so and hopefully I beat this boss. Man. The story's kind of ridiculous. It does set itself up for a sequel, so I know it was mentioned, you know, oh, it sounds, you know, they're a passionate group looking to get buzz for their next one. I can see it. Like, they set this game up to have a story that will go into like a second game, and they joke about having a sequel all the time in the game. It's very, I don't know if I'd call it fourth wall breaking, but they go for it. Come on. Oh yeah, and so many of the bosses, like, banter between you and the boss is very pop culture referencey. I don't know why that was a quick boss test, but whatever. So these are the medals. I only got 2 for that fight. Then you get some extra money for the minions you kill. The boss has a bounty on it, and then however much health you have also decides some money you get. Then there's some story scenes. Oh yeah, the phone's ringing. But yeah, so like immediately I'd put stuff into there. But okay, so my first save file. So Pet Hill. We have Buzz Rainbow. You get a dog. I mean, you get like everything. If there's an animal you want, it exists. We'll get there. We'll get there. Some more fantastical ones do exist. I don't think they do anything besides just put the pet in your... I mean, we got a little piggy. Peas porridge. Little giraffe. Let's see. Unit. There we go. Trip Sparkles. I know there was... We got Jinx. Just go Trip Sparkles. So yeah, gun-wise, there's tons, like the Ultra Gun. But then like the hat store, you can make yourself look however you want. I don't know, I went for the Godzilla look with the Gemini. So you can equip a costume, but also equip certain abilities instead. So like each hat does have its own abilities, but I have the Gemini abilities with the Godzilla costume. And like there's so many different ones. Some are really weird. And if you know the references for all of them, like, it can be fun. Like, I think there was a whole set of anime ones. We got Hadoken. Iceman. We have a Sailor Moon reference. Bent. You can even have a unicorn head. We got Claptrap in there, and a Dalek. So, like, there are tons of things you can choose. Oh, yeah, and if you don't like the Gemini ones, you can always go with the years of stuff. They also grant the time boost, but I went with the Gemini one. But you can equip any of them, so whatever your sign, you could equip your sign. Where's some of the funny? Like, oh yeah, we got the Avengers, Cap Freedom. Thoron, Widowmaker, Bullseye, Steel. Okay, so with all my upgrades. So like here's the first level, we'll just make a boss again. And this time, like, I have super missiles, and as you can see, the super missiles just wreck these early bosses. So that's kind of not fair. But yeah, so all the medals, and as you can see, I have like 70 million now. Or 700 million, sorry. Like, you get so much money. So yeah, the medals. So there's a medal for beating it quickly, a medal with beating it with a super missile, for beating it just using your machine, taking only minimal damage, rescuing the gopher, and just for beating the level the first time. And if you get all those medals, you get the Deputy Star medal. I have found that it looks like you have to get every medal to unlock one of the costumes. So besides the main mechanic of just building a boss, there are 4 major bosses that you can actually shuffle. So like here's the first one of them on level 10. It's Jolly Roger. So no matter how you fight this one, it'll always be this. And usually the major bosses are like multi-stage. Really? Well, I won't be on too much longer. I do have to start getting ready. So, like, even still, this boss is kind of a joke at this point. Yeah, I mean, as long as you do the dodging, it's not terribly difficult. Like, a lot of shmups, like, I'd call this probably a shmup. This is definitely not, like, the hardest of shmups out there. This isn't one of those ones where, like, if you have, like, if you have minimal skill to this kind of genre, it wouldn't, like, completely destroy you. So there's 4 bosses. They kind of set it up to sound like there's going to be 101 bosses. But there's only 30 main levels, and then finally, the final boss, Boss 101. I'm not sure if some of the achievements are glitched or wrongly described, because so Endless Boss Mode lets you just fight boss after boss after boss with your setup, and the only thing is that it says you have to reach like wave 60, but both the Arcade and the Iron Bot achievements unlocked after 20. So I'm not sure, you know, what actually the requirements are for those. So it might be easier. I will say one of the first achievements to go for is do press the do not press button like 7 times. Because I think it resets your progress. But because I did it at the beginning, it never actually messed up things. So. Oh yeah, so like everything has the visitors. So this was the one that was really eluding me, was getting all the people to visit. So Tanya, Rochelle, Sam, all these. The one who took forever to come was Clamp. Clamp took forever to visit me. But yeah, I mean, at this point, there we go. I put in just over 13 hours, 900 million money, passed all the levels, collected all the boss parts, got all the hats, all the guns, got back all the gophers, and had all my pets. And then here's all the boss parts. So like that, if they shuffle the parts, but you could actually see like that's what the boss would look like with all its proper parts. And you can do that for all of them. So it's cool to see what the actual bosses would have looked like, although you'll never fight a boss just like this. The shuffling really makes it interesting to see what kind of arrangements you'll get. Oh yeah, and then the 3 majors, and then finally the final boss, but I think that's it. Is there anything else I can show? Or everybody good? Awesome. So I can delete this one again. It's like less than half a gig, so it really took no time. Have a good day, everybody. I'll see everybody later. Talk to everybody in Discord and whatnot, and be back this weekend with normal stream of some sort. Thank you. Bye.